Good morning, everyone. How's it going?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, Michael.
How you guys doing? Hello, everyone. We already got people in the comments. That is exciting. How's everyone doing today? Love to start out by asking people where they're watching from. We usually get a great variety all over the globe, and we actually are all over the globe with our guests. This is the very special sort of Meet Team ButterDocs meeting. Rob and I are here as usual, but we are joined by Mishi and Bruno. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves and tell us where are you streaming from? Mishi, you go first.
All right. Yeah, I'm calling in from Berlin. Yeah, it's cold and dark out here. 7 p.m. now, but yeah, Berlin.
Awesome. And we got Bruno.
Hey everyone, I'm Bruno from Brazil. I'm actually talking from Recife, the northeastern part of Brazil. Yeah, it's raining around here. It's usually very hot, but yeah, not right now, unfortunately.
Awesome. I thought you guys were going to be the first ones away, but looked like Leonidas is watching from Indonesia. So I think that might take it in terms of, well, I guess it's the furthest away from whom. I'm just making myself the center of the universe and saying who's furthest away from me. But we got a really fun show today. We are going to start off by, in a minute, revealing all the winners from the sweepstakes, which is probably why you're here, to see if you won a gift card, Apple AirPods Max headphones, or the grand prize of the Writers Retreat, the Airbnb gift card, which is pretty exciting. And then after that, we're going to have a little kind of Ask Us Anything. If you guys have any questions for the team, we're all here. You can ask us anything you want about ButterDocs, and yeah, sort of the classic Ask Us Anything. So it should be pretty fun, and then maybe he'll have some announcements and kind of give you a little sense of what to expect coming in the new year with ButterDocs. Rob, do you want to? Shall we get going and give the people what they want? Let them know who won these awards.
Yeah, no, we didn't want to bury the lead here. We wanted to get straight to it. I know people are excited to figure out find out if they've won something. We have 19 winners for this sweepstakes. You guys have been awesome, just like really working at it. We have folks that have hundreds of entries. So really excited to reveal these winners. And
just sort of explain, right? We're going to start with the the third place winners,
yeah,
and then the second place winners, and then we'll reveal the grand prize winner, because you got to like build up the tension as we get there. Bruno, Mishi, you guys excited? How are you feeling about these reveals? Can you feel the excitement in the air?
It's really cool how people participated. Did not expect that. That was really awesome.
I mean, every time I put like a new thing up, like show me, you using ButterDocs on an Instagram reel, like we had people do it. And so like, give us feedback. People did it. So that's been really super cool. Sometimes as a marketer, you put something out into the wild and you just get crickets. So thank you guys. This has been a lot of fun. One thing I wanted to mention is that, yes, we were revealing them in third, second, first. The very first person that was drawn won the grand prize, and then I went down in that order. So yeah, let's get it going without further ado. Let's look at the winners of the $50 gift cards.
Hit it.
All right.
Such a fun announcement video. Rob tried to play it twice. Wait, so here? Who won? That's currently here.
I noticed Jennifer won a $50 gift card.
Nice.
Maybe one or two other ones, but congratulations, Jennifer, our first winner here in attendance. All right. Hey, I mean, $50 gift card, Amazon. You can use it however way you like. Hey, let me know if you'd rather do that as a donation or any other gift card. Really, we don't have no partnership with Amazon or anything, so you can let me know what you like. We can talk about it through email. I'll get in contact with you. All right. That goes for everyone seeing this after the fact. We will get in contact with you shortly if you've won. Let's move on to the next prize. Hold on. Some Apple AirPods Maxes. These are some awesome headphones. They're worth about $550, so it better be good. Let's do it.
Wow. All right. That was exciting. Kelsey Copeland squeaking in there with the 49 entries, but that's the luck of the draw. Sometimes you get lucky, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
All right. The time has come.
We knew the big reveal?
The big reveal.
All right. This is the 1200, the gift card, Airbnb. Oof.
All right, here we go.
Congratulations to LJ Bryant.
Congratulations.
Don't know if you're here today, but I want to go to that cabin in the graphic. That's the one. It was like a beautiful place to go and have a writer's retreat. it's kind of cool to see all the entries, amounts for everyone. But I feel like we should do a special prize, right? Because these were all random drawings, but whoever had the most entries out of everyone, like it feels like they deserve something. Am I wrong?
I think so, Micah, and I'm actually just pulling up, trying to get the exact number of entries. And
I think we're going to do a special prize here, another pair of Apple AirPods Max headphones for whomever had the most overall entries. They did the most things. Yeah.
Let's hold on one second. I just wanted to get the exact number.
Cool. I can keep vamping here and just.
Yeah.
I think they did it all, right? They did all the entries, not just the most.
They didn't. Okay, so we all have to brag about this person. Micah and I, I've gotten to know this person a little bit, and we're excited that they keep coming to these ButterDocs lives with the most entries by over 100. Second place entries had 370 entries. This person had 485 entries.
Wow.
So they did everything. They came to ButterDocs Lives, gave us comments, and they are here today. And I don't have a graphic for it because we just decided to do this. We were like, we can't like not give them something. And that is.
I'm doing a drum roll. Katie Phillips. Katie Phillips. Oh, there you are. What can I say? I'm motivated by gamifying things.
She had that text loaded up, and we didn't let her know. She just knew. She had that 485. She had the most. So congratulations, Katie Phillips. Thank you for being such a great participant and working with us and being an early community member. We're happy to give you Apple AirPods Max, and if you already have some awesome headphones, we could talk about that too. Maybe we can give you equal value on something else. But again, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Way to go, guys. Thank you so much to everyone for participating. I hope it was fun. And, it's also encouragement. We want people to try out ButterDocs. And, the response that we've received from it has been really encouraging from our initial launch. And the feedback has also been incredibly valuable as we keep developing the app and really work to make it the best writing app in the world, which is our ultimate goal, which I think is a really good transition to sort of this Ask Me Anything. So again, if you have any questions or ask us anything for the team, put it in the chat. I'm just going to kind of ask some questions as well. Let's start off by Mishi and Bruno. You introduced yourselves a little bit, but why don't you kind of give us some background on who you are, what you do at this company, and how did you end up here? So why don't we start with the man who has the founder written under his name, which probably gives you a hint to what his role in this company is. But Mishi, what's your background? How'd you end up here, and what do you do at ButterDocs?
Yeah, the label is the giveaway. I'm actually the founder. It's true. So basically, I started at Arc Studio actually a couple of years ago.
What's Arc Studio for people who only know ButterDocs?
So Arc Studio is kind of the little sister of Butter in a sense, or the older sister. I don't know. But Arc Studio is a screenwriting app. It's screenwriting. Screenwriters have very specific formats. In case you don't know, it's very specific format in terms of formatting and font and this kind of stuff. And this is an app for writing these scripts, and it's also collaborative, of course. It's very similar to ButterDocs. If you know ButterDocs, you know Arc Studio, kind of. And it was built for people to collaborate because screenwriters, they're still sending these text files around, kind of like, it's called Final Draft. And they don't really have a convenient way to collaborate like Google Docs or something like this. And this is what Arc Studio is. And this was the predecessor, and now we're launching ButterDocs.
How did you get that? I mean, are you a screen, like, how did you end up being like, this is the app, that I'm going to build?
So the plan was from the beginning to build the better Google Docs, kind of. But I thought, okay, you cannot just walk in and build Google Docs. That's kind of big app. So I thought, okay, start with a very specific niche, with a very specific use case. And also was screenwriting a little bit in university. So I knew how screenwriters were working, and I knew what apps they were using, and I knew they weren't that good. And also that, there are bigger teams often working together. Now they're getting smaller, but often these teams at times were like 20 people or something in a writer's room, not all in the writer's room, but in this writing team doing a season of television. And they have full.
Is Mishi frozen here, or is this me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is Mishi. This is the beauty of having a team that's spread across the world with all different internets. Mishi, we lost you for a second there. You were talking about teams.
All right. Yeah. So these teams were collaborating in a very manual manner. They had people who were organizing the workflow and stuff like that. And I wanted to provide something that makes it much easier, where people can collaborate in one document and work together and really exchange ideas and not, send around files. So that was the initial thought behind that.
And then how did you pivot? How did Butter arise out of Arc Studio?
So as I said, that was the plan from the beginning to have kind of app. But Arc Studio got kind of mature. It takes a long time to build an app like this. It's quite complicated. It got more and more mature. The features were there. People were responding to it. We had some good growth in Arc Studio. Still growing, of course, and just the timing was right, and the feature set got to a stage where I thought, okay, this makes sense for other use cases as well.
Cool. So speaking of building it and the complications, I think that's a good transition to Bruno. Why don't you give us a little on your background and how you ended up in what you do at ButterDocs?
Yeah, as Michi said, I also started back in Arc Studio like 2.5 years ago. I just happened to find Arc Studio by chance, and when we talked about the app, how to build it, like it got very interesting really fast. So I said, yeah, let's do this. Like the challenge that Michi said we had with the app, yeah, they were very interesting, and I kind of wanted to work with that and jump from traditional web development stuff that what was working at the time.
What was interesting about it, like from a programming perspective?
From a programming perspective, it's not actually a web app. I used to build simple apps like management software, internal management stuff, like spreadsheets, crunching numbers.
Very exciting.
It was kind of exciting, but not as exciting as building a real app, like something that doesn't deal with a single problem, doesn't deal with just getting data from people and that sort of stuff. So building a writing app, like a complete app, was actually got me interested in joining Arc Studio and now joining ButterDocs.
Cool. And then, Rob and I, we've been here every week, but we haven't really talked about our origin stories, about how we became these superheroes of writing apps. Rob, what's your background and how did you end up at ButterDocs and what do you do?
Yeah, I run marketing and go to market, quote unquote, at ButterDocs. I found out about the opportunity the beginning of, close to the beginning of this year, and we started working together as kind of a contract basis. And I joined full time recently. The draw is I've been a content writer and content marketer most of my career, and that whole time I've just had to use Google Docs or Word or write in WordPress, and it's, especially when you're working with other people, is just such a headache. And like I'm finding like, okay, this is Google Docs thing, it's like the newer thing. I don't have to save anything, it auto saves, but like I'm still like creating version control issues because you're writing, or you have a blog post in like one document, but then as a writer, you don't want to like write in front of like the whole team live, with like people peering down at you. So you create another document, and then you have to figure out how to merge all these changes. So that problem alone has been like, I've faced it over and over and over again in my career, and like it just felt like no one was actually building anything for writers or the writing process. And Also, my partner, she's a creative writer. So like I talk with her all the time about creative writing. I talk about content writing, and we just kind of nerd out on this stuff. So it's been fun joining the team and being able to do that, like blending in our personal interests with work.
Cool. And for me, yeah, I am a writer. I'm primarily a screenwriter by trade. And if you've been following the news at all in the past year, anything in the entertainment industry, you will know that there were a couple really big strikes in the entertainment industry, and the writers were on strike. And I got involved in the spring, kind of like right before the strike was going to hit. Everything was shutting down, and Mishi posted a job opportunity on a email list that I'm a part of. And it kind of started. Yeah, it was like a small part-time job where I was just kind of writing some like help center articles. And I just got really excited about it and kept sort of suggesting things and being like, hey, what if I do this? What if I do this? What if I do this? Hey, Mishi, I found this problem. Hey, Mishi, can we add this feature? And I just kind of like clawed myself into a bigger role at the company where I kind of do a bunch of different things, which is, I love it because it's like, there are very, I'm not a tech person. I've never worked at a tech company before. There are very few companies I would be qualified to work at, but like I am a writer. I'm also a short story writer. And so I use ButterDocs for that. But it was very exciting for me to, you use all these writing apps and you're like, oh, I hate this. I wish I could do this. And I'm like, wait, I can suggest that, or I can, give feedback.
Bruno.
Yeah, I can bug Bruno all the time about things like, hey, Bruno, I broke your thing again. Bruno, here's another bug that I found to fix this. Which is like my favorite thing to do is like, yeah, I also test the app too. And I'm like, I love bugging Bruno about all the ways he's messed up and needs to fix things. So yeah, like I said, I like to use it, ButterDocs in particular, I use it for work, which is kind of fun that it's for creative writing and for professional writing. But also right now I'm revising a short story and using it for that. What does everyone use ButterDocs here for? Let's go in like reverse order. Rob, what do you use ButterDocs for yourself when you're writing?
Yeah, I mean, at first it took me a minute to get used to because this was before we had kind of more fonts and stuff in there. And I was like, okay, as a content writer, I'm so used to Google Docs. But then we added a few more things. We've been iterating on it. I mean, these guys, Michi and Bruno, like 2-person tech team, but they just churn out, updates like every single day. So, it wasn't too long where I was in there and I'm like, getting addicted to the workflow of creating content. So a lot of our kind of content that we've been doing with partners on our last launch for NaNoWriMo, I did it all in ButterDocs, and being able to like have my notes in the same place where I'm writing, and then being able to share drafts with you guys and get your feedback. And like, I just loved it so far because typically you would send a link to one document to everyone, and maybe one person will take charge and just leave a bunch of comments. And then the other team members will just be like, they got enough comments, But with this, you can share a unique draft with each individual person. So just being able to get better feedback, we ended up creating a better end product out of it. So that's been awesome. Just creating, like I said, written content. We've also started using it for just strategic planning, for planning out videos, planning out campaigns. So it's been really great as a marketer. I love it.
Cool. What about you, Bruno?
Actually,
you're a programmer. You write in code. Do you write with real words ever? Or these made up symbols that you program?
So yeah, I don't actually write much, but I have a game development, also hobby at the side, and developing in ButterDocs seemed like a great opportunity to get into write my story. Like I have this huge story in my head. When you drift into sleep and you're just trying to build a world in your head. Oh, yeah. So that has always been locked into my mind. And now I decided, okay, let's try using ButterDocs to get this into the paper and get this to a real thing. The development side is not going great, but the story side is now kind of developing inside ButterDocs at the moment.
Mishi, what about you?
So yeah, I don't have a lot of time to do any creative writing, unfortunately. So I'm also mostly doing business stuff, important emails and investor updates and this kind of stuff. I'm gonna say it's also kind of bad for my productivity because I start writing something, then I don't know, have an idea or hit an issue or something, and then I'm back in my code editor to fix the bug or add this little feature that I wanted or something. And 3 hours later, I didn't write my email or So
it's very productive software, except when you're building it and you're like being like, "Ooh, I can add this feature to it."
And also, I didn't say that at the beginning, but when I started Arc Studio, it was also because I wanted to get back into screenwriting and play around with this. And I checked out all the other apps, and then I thought, okay, of course I have to build my own, like before I start writing my TV show, my pilot. And
that is the ultimate procrastination tool. I've heard of people like cleaning their house or, like walking the dog before writing.
I haven't written a single page yet.
You built an app before you wrote your screenplay. That's
5 years later.
That's commitment to procrastination on a level that I've never heard of before.
This pilot will not get written.
That's a good segue to the question, but like, why are you starting a company? Like, you say you're busy all the time. It feels really hard. Why don't you just get a job at a normal company and work, 9 to 5?
That's a very good question. Like, everybody should really think about that very, very deeply before they do it. No, I don't know. Like I think that was a very organic thing happening to me. Like, I started projects all the time, even as a kid. Like when I was 12 or something, I did a vocabulary trainer for Latin classes and stuff like that in school all the time. And I never thought, okay, I want to start a business. I just started projects, and that came very natural to me, and I really enjoyed that and working on my own terms. And that's how it happened.
Cool. I want to get some audience questions in here too, but I want to just hit really fast. What is everyone's favorite feature in ButterDocs? Because I don't know, we do a lot of stuff here, so I want to just hear everyone's favorite. I'm gonna start. I will say the notes. As a writer, I'm constantly. I used to use a notes app, and I just would have thousands of notes. Like, just everything I'm writing notes about it. About the story structure, about the characters, about everything. So having the notes like right next to me, to my document in Butter is I would say is my favorite app. What about you, Bruno?
I'm gonna say branch and merge, the whole new copy thing and merging that back into the main draft. Like, as a programmer, as a developer, that's what we do every day. We get a part of the code, check it out, do some changes to it, and then check what exactly changed, which words, where, how did they change. And come to think of it, like, Michi convinced me of it, every document is just words, it's just text. And we have it solved in programming, and now we are bringing that into general writing, not only to programmers and tech-inclined stuff. Now we can do that whole process workflow of revising, adding, and accepting or reviewing changes, like built into any kind of writing that you want to do. It just makes sense, I just don't know how didn't no one think of that before.
Yeah. If you guys haven't used that feature yet, it's really cool. Where you can make a copy, you can make changes to the copy that don't affect the main draft, and then you can merge them back together and choose which of the changes to the main draft you want to put, or changes to the copy that you want to use in the main draft. And that has a lot of use cases. You can do it for yourself when you're editing something, but it's really great if you're like working with a proofreader or someone else who's going to be editing your document, but you still want to like maintain control over what goes in. You can send them the copy, they can make the changes, and then you get to choose which of the changes come into your main document. So yeah, that's a really cool feature.
It solves that issue that Hobbs talked about like 10 minutes ago, that whole version control thing. People emailing files around, V2, V2 final, revise.
Final. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Michi, what about you? What's your favorite feature?
I really like the blocks, because this is the one feature I didn't think of at all when I started. And like one screenwriter was interviewing when I, like really early on, like I showed him Arc Studio, and he gave me feedback, and he showed me how he was outlining his script. And he showed me how he color-coded stuff and stuff like that, and how he could only have one color per card. And this was big inspiration, and it really came from outside, and that was really cool for me.
Yeah, as a screenwriter, I have to say, if I like just my screen, you can see my index cards up like that I use when I'm outlining things. And so having that in that sort of same functionality is fantastic. Rob, what about you?
Well, we chatted about this a little bit ahead of time, and I was just like, I mean, I like them all, especially like notes.
Yeah, but I take notes. I was like, I'm
taking notes.
My claim.
I mean, my favorite thing about notes is being able to put it side by side with my writing, because I was doing that anyway with multiple windows, and I'd have Evernote over here or another browser tab, and then having to do my work. And so I love that, but as an editor, as working with lots of people in a content production process and a writing process, it has to be comments for me. I think it comes down to our approach. Like, we're not just slapping on collaboration. We're not just accepting this is how comments works with every real-time collaborative tool out there, or how it works in Google Docs. Being able to add tags to comments and then sort through those and create an action plan and go through an iterative process on the type of comments you're working through is so huge. So like, I'm just excited to do this more and more, this process more and more, as we're building out our content function, as we're working with writers and seeing how people use that feature in the wild to improve especially their like relationship with their editor and like stakeholders. Really excited about that. But blocks, branch and merge, notes, comments. Yeah. These are really like big pillars of ButterDocs. I love them all, and we're trying to definitely make those be really great new ways for writers to work with other people.
In the comments, Angel called out the stash. Says a lifesaver. You just have to run one. Which is so it's so funny. Every writer has their own name for covering up Mishi. Sorry to face with that.
That's okay. That's okay.
Every writer has their own name kind of for that document where you would cut and paste things. I love it. Angel calls hers the compost pile. I would call mine the graveyard. But it's always like you have something that doesn't work, and you cut it and you either paste it in another document, or some people paste it at the bottom of their document, but then it's just super hard to find and everything. But with the stash, that you can just put in the stash and then just drag it and drop it back into your document is really cool. Jennifer loves the blocks, notes, table of contents. Going to check out the copy features. Awesome. We had some feature questions here. Sari asks, is there any future possibility of adding grammar, spelling checks in ButterDocs, or some form of editing help? Nishi, what do we think about that?
We have something really, really cool coming up for that. I like one thing that always comes up. Like, actually, we should have spell check. Maybe it's not available. We have spell check. It might not be in the browser, because there the browser takes over. We cannot really add it there. But in the app, you definitely have spell check. And yeah, people always ask for Grammarly integrations. That's really hard to do on a technical level. We might get there eventually, but we have something really, really cool coming up in a couple of months, weeks, months, like 1 or 2 months, not 8 months or something. So yeah, there's going to be something good.
And then, of course, we can't have a discussion on features without talking about fonts. Angel wants to know, where on the roadmap can we expect to get Times New Roman, the specific request?
So we just launched PT Serif. Yeah. It's very similar to Times New Roman. It's not exactly Times New Roman, but maybe give it a try. If it's good enough, let us know for sure. We might add more fonts, but yeah, we'll see how people respond to the ones we added right now. We added Inter, which is a sans serif font, and we added PT Serif, which is a serif font.
Cool. Victoria's asking about plans for word counts of different blocks when I highlight sections. I think we have, right? We have word count. Yeah. So, and if you highlight something, it also shows kind of in a highlighted number how many words are in the highlighted section. Yeah. I don't think we have word counts of specific blocks though yet, right? But you do Yeah.
I think we used to have them. This section is kind of crowded, and we also have to add some more stuff, so that's a little bit tricky to add. But maybe we'll add them on right click, or maybe we will add a shortcut where you can see them momentarily or something. That's
Cool.
a good idea.
Awesome. Bruno, what are some of the biggest technical challenges of building out ButterDocs?
Yeah, that's a good segue, I think. Like when we talked about this before, I was branch and merge is not a real simple thing to do, since also there is some real-time collaboration in ButterDocs, getting to know when someone added something, but person B just deleted something at the same place. Person C is now trying to add something there, trying to reconcile all those changes at the same time, and also bring it over to the main draft was a real technical challenge for us to develop, and we keep continue improving on that. But we didn't know coming to it, but adding new fonts actually turned out to be a big technical challenge, bigger than we expected.
Why? So it doesn't seem like on the outside it would be that hard, right? You're just like, a font is a font. So what's hard about adding new ones?
Yeah, I don't want to get too technical about it, but it's not a simple toggle. Okay, let's enable that thing. But
so
getting
on the Mac, I can just download it and double click it, and it installs. It's super easy.
Yeah, what's so hard?
Come on. It could be, but the way that RStudio structure or ButterDocs is structured, right? That's actually causing problems, or for us at least, because the stash and the notes and this kind of stuff. This makes it, it's called a block-based document model, and this makes it kind of tricky, right, Bruno?
Yes. It's not as simple as that because, as Michi said, it's kind of like a block-based app, and now we kind of have to get those blocks to work together, and different fonts can have an issue when you move a cursor between blocks, when you try to move your mouse over them. So we had to kind of fake it being a single block, and that was a big challenge for us.
All right, but Bruno's on it, which is good. Because Rob and I are just like, what's the deal, guys? Come on, just do it. Give me my fonts. But
again, to the team's credit, like we did the NaNoWriMo launch, and if you look on our product feedback board, it's the #1 piece of feedback, like by a mile. And Michi and Bruno were like, we're on it. We'll figure it out. So
before NaNoWriMo, we didn't want to do it, but
you guys helped us get there.
Just for people that don't know, one of the reasons it's a kind of a change also is that in screenwriting, everyone uses Courier. So it's like there aren't multiple fonts. It has to do with it being a mono-spaced font, which means that like every letter, every character is one space. So it just has to do with the spacing, and it's like technical in the formatting of screenplays. But of course, with ButterDocs, we want you to be able to write anything with it. So it's continually adapting and developing it to being a more flexible product. But speaking of ButterDocs, Michi, where did the name come from? Why is it named after butter?
So when we started development on ButterDocs, we didn't know it was named that. So we had this huge list. It was really big. It was a couple of hundred names, ideas. And this was one of them. And I'm really a big fan of butter. I'm really into butter. And I thought it sounded nice, but it also kind of fun, it's not too serious about it. But we kind of started it.
Michi, can you say you're really into butter and one more time for the edit? Because I'm gonna play that.
So I'm really into butter.
Okay, what do you put butter on, Michi? Tell us the culinary. What in Berlin? What are you buttering?
Actually, I cook a lot. This was it's probably my biggest hobby, and like mashed potatoes, my favorite meal, and there's a lot of butter in my mashed potatoes.
Nice.
So I thought it was fun. We all thought it was fun. We almost discarded it, but then circled back on it, and I'm glad we did. And I think it's a good name.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That little get to know you there. Michi likes to cook. Any other hobbies, Michi?
Yeah, cooking and lifting. That's all I have time for. Those are my hobbies.
What's your bench press, Michi?
My bench press is really bad. I don't want to say it.
Okay.
It's 100
Just say it in
kilos.
kilograms and no one will know.
Yeah, exactly.
But then it sounds even less, much less.
That's true. Yeah.
It's 100 kilos. My bench press is 100 kilos. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Since I'm an ignorant American and I refuse to change. We'll like talk about the weather, and they'll say like Bruno and Misha will say the temperature in Celsius where they are, and I'll just be like, I don't know what that means. That means nothing to me. Bruno, what's your hobby?
I actually do game development on the side and try to learn new programming languages and tech-related stuff at the moment. But it's temporary, you know. I had a lot of hobbies. It's just what it is at the moment.
Yeah, my main hobby is picking up new hobbies and then quickly quitting them. So like during the pandemic, I had my bread baking phase for like 2 weeks. I got into lock picking for like 2 weeks. I bought like a lock picking kit where you get like a clear lock that you can like practice. And then
what was the goal there?
Don't worry about it. It's not important. And then I had my stop motion animation phase for like 2 weeks, where like I bought this software and I made like 2 short films. But then it turns out stop motion is incredibly hard and time consuming. So I got bored of that. So I got a dartboard that I was into for a little bit. So yeah, I like just picking up hobbies and dropping them. Rob, what about you? I see some instruments behind you. Do you actually play any of those?
Yeah, well, some of them I do, and some of them I don't. I guess I'll break the news on that, but tell them myself. Yeah, I'm a drummer. I love hand drums, so various types of hand drums. I have a cajon. I mean, a djembe right here, a cajon down here, a hand pan, if you know what that is, like this big tin thing you can play melodies on. It's super fun. I'm also just really into the basketball, into the Dallas Mavericks. It's kind of like my thing. And reality TV, actually. Yeah, totally into reality TV.
Surprising.
Especially the competitive kind, not like the cheesy. I mean, I watched the cheesy dating ones too, but
are you still watching like Survivor season 45?
Oh yeah, no, I'm a Survivor and Big Brother super fan. I'll never miss an episode. I'm on forums, all that sort of stuff since I was like 12. So very.
Like Top Chef. Are you watching that, bro?
What's that?
Are you watching Top Chef?
Yeah, I've seen Top Chef. I'm more of a Master Chef guy, and I want something laid back. But no, it's Survivor and especially Big Brother. They have a really fun one called Reindeer Games going on right now, where they're bringing back all the all-stars and they're doing competitions. It's super fun. People don't realize that show is still going, but it is.
I like Hell's Kitchen, I have to say. I love Ramsay. Just like
Ramsay.
I was actually watching Hell's Kitchen last night, like after where I was like decompressing at the end of the day, and like just him walking into some like little restaurant and just hating all the food, and just like the chef in the back being like, I don't know, I think it's good. And it's just like it's the same episode every time, but it's just so satisfying. Yeah, I love it.
Katie Phillips here, Mavs fan from Dallas. Yeah, I'm from Dallas. So
Angel hating on my stop motion. That's very Ben from Parks and Rec when he's in his depression phase. I wasn't depressed. I'm just looking to create art, Angel. So that's what I was.
Next up for Micah is calzones. He's going to get into calzones.
Exactly. Perfect thing. Mishi, what's a surprising thing? You've built Arc Studio and then ButterDocs. Well, I'm curious about like in that experience, is there anything that surprised you? Something that was hard that you didn't think, or was going to be that turned out to be easy, or what surprised you about building a business that you didn't know about beforehand?
So fonts, that it takes so long and so hard. That was a big surprise for me. No, I'm kidding.
I love the thought that like Misha and Bruno just like in their sleep are just being like chased around by like wingdings or something and just like being tormented.
That's basically what happens every night.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. No, everything just takes so much longer than you think it will. That's the biggest takeaway, I think. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. We got some question a little here about kind of the future of ButterDocs from Jennifer. Any idea what the program will cost to use in the future? Will you have a lifetime membership option? Right now, obviously, it's still free for everyone, but at some point, it is a business. We got to make some money on this. What are we thinking at this point in terms of membership options and prices?
I can give a first thought of that, Michi, chime in, but we are gearing up towards launching paid plans later on in 2024. Maybe we're wanting to do it in the first half. I will say a lot of you guys have joined in via like a 1-year free offer. I think we're going to continue to offer some level of free plan. And then our kind of primary method will be a monthly subscription. A lot of people have asked for lifetime memberships or at least annual. I think we're definitely going to consider that option, especially on like the solo writer front or like the prosumer level. We're going to be building ButterDocs really not just for like quote unquote solo writers, but people that are involved with writing teams. So they're likely going to be the ones that'll be using ButterDocs a lot and paying for a paid plan. So, but yeah, we're going to figure that out. We'll survey users a little bit, and that'll probably happen. It'll definitely happen next year. Michi, you have any other thoughts you want to share on that right now?
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty early. I think one thing I'm pretty sure about is that there's going to be some kind of free plan. Don't want to promise it, but I think that's pretty clear that some kind of free plan will be there.
Also, just to mention that, we see a real future in ButterDocs at businesses, right? For like large teams at companies and stuff. So for any of you here, a lot of people who write, for their own stuff are also doing things at work. If you have any thoughts or about how ButterDocs could be useful at your job, if you write, with a team, that kind of feedback is helpful. And, I think that's something we'll be working on more in the future as well. So should we talk a little bit maybe about what's going to be coming up in 2024? What can people expect from ButterDocs?
Sure.
I can talk a little bit on the marketing front, what's happening with content, what January and February is going to start looking like. Michi, do you want to share just a few of the things that are coming out on a roadmap first over the next few months?
Yes. So we're actually working through the list that we got from you guys in NaNoWriMo. That was really helpful. We have a fully stacked feedback board. Super awesome, the feedback we got there. So we're working our way down the list. We started with fonts. That's kind of in place. We're going to improve on that. One thing that's going to come soon is advanced formatting. So it's going to be basic, but you will have options like indenting paragraphs. You will be able to center headlines, this kind of stuff that you've been asking for. Auto M-dash, that was a big one. That's also coming soon. It also makes sense now that we have non-monospaced font. Before that, we already had it in the pipeline, but it didn't make that much sense. And I think we have a couple more. Yeah, also, I don't want to give a precise timeline, but an iOS app is definitely coming. A lot of people have been asking for that, and there will be one. So, yeah.
That's cool. Is there anything else? The more fonts will be rolling out slowly, kind of also over time.
We'll see how it goes.
How it goes.
Don't want to promise any specific font, but yeah.
And the block focus, is that something that?
Block focus. Yeah, that's a cool one. You will be able to select a block that you want to focus on, that you want to edit individually without having the whole document in front of you. And then, yeah, your document will be focused on that one block or that one section, that one chapter.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. A lot of M-dash love in the comments. People are very excited.
People are really excited about M-dashes. I'm glad we added that.
Nice. Cool. Rob, did you want to talk about content-wise what it's going to be on
We have some big stuff coming on the horizon. We launched to the world. We had 0 users in October, and we partnered with NaNoWriMo, and that really helped us get this thing going and driving a lot of creative writers. But we learned, a lot of creative writers also are content writers and also are academic writers and write other things. So we're really now in this stage as a business where we're really trying to get to know the different types of writers and the different types of use cases for writers and how we can help them complete their writing projects and work with other people better. So this next group, we're going to be trying to mix up the content a little bit. We still want to have like content tracks and content specifically for content writing. Micah is going to continue to really run the show and do events and content on creative writing. I'm going to start talking and creating content and doing events on content writing. We don't love the word content. It's kind of like
professional writing.
Let's call it professional writing. Let's call it business writing, whether it's a blog post or working with your team on a video script or copywriting. So I'm looking deeply on those use cases. I'm trying to talk to as many people in that world as we can, and we're going to start doing an event series, like I said, on that world in January throughout February. We are going to do one series. We just decided that's going to kind of cross the chasm for all types of writers. We've had a lot of fun with our write-ins, our community write-ins. We're going to continue that. We're going to call it Write With Us, and we're going to invite the users the users of Arc Studio, and we're going to do that together. So basically, no matter if you're a content writer or a professional writer or a script writer or poet, we're going to have time on our calendar every month, probably twice a month, to just have focused writing together, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So look forward to that. It'll be called Write With Us. The other big announcement is we are going to be doing our next big launch, so to speak, in February, and we really need and want your help. So like I said, our last one was NaNoWriMo. That really helped us get going. This next one, what we're doing is trying to get a lot of other different types of writers into the mix. So we're launching on a platform called Product Hunt, which is kind of like a Reddit, but for product launches, and tech companies will go there and launch their product, and people can upvote them and add comments and add their feedback on how they like the product. It's a great place to get build early community and get early adopter feedback. So we're going to be launching on Product Hunt on February 19th. And until then, we're going to be doing a lot of content and programs to just, add value to you guys. But we'd really appreciate your support on February 19th. Actually, on January 22nd, we're going to be launching a coming soon page with them where you can go and subscribe and be notified of when we launch for that. So we're probably also going to be doing another sweepstakes. So you missed out on this one. You did a lot of entries. Let's do it all over again. We'll put new entry types in there. You won't have to go unfollow us and follow us again. We'll figure out some new fun things that we can do together. But that'll be all in support of helping us launch on Product Hunt in February. So
cool. I think that kind of brings us to the end of the event. If anyone has any last questions they want to sneak in under the wire, get them in the comments. But congratulations again to all the winners, and thank you to everyone who showed up, who asked questions, and has sort of been with us on this journey so far. Keep giving us the feedback. Keep telling us what you like, what you want. I mean, that's the only way we're going to add the stuff that you want, is that if you tell us what it is that you want. Because as hard as we try, we are not mind readers. But yeah, so I don't know, Mishi, as the founder of ButterDocs, do you want to close with any parting message of wisdom or advice or anything for our audience? Here, actually, this, you can answer this question. Lucas Alves, just a curiosity, how long did it take from the inception of the project until the almost ready version that you guys are discussing? How much of your life have you been spent working on this, Mishi?
I think it's more than 5 years now.
Wow.
That's
definitely been worth it.
In terms of wisdom, I don't have anything to share, but I'm just want to say thanks. It's really amazing the response we've had with NaNoWriMo, and the feedback and the encouragement. It was really great.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that is it from everyone, from us. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Holidays.
Hopefully you're getting a break, and we will see you in the new year. All right. See you guys.